Hello students, very good morning to all. Hope you are doing well. So students, you can see that today we are going to start our first video lecture for this class. So your first chapter we have already read on Google Meet. Now today we are going to discuss through these video lectures. So let us start. So the chapter name is Nutrition in Plants. Okay. Now let me tell you that what we are going to discuss in this chapter. So we will learn in this chapter about nutrition and its types. That means how many kinds of nutritions are there, what are the types, autotrophic nutrition in plants, okay, heterotrophic nutrition in plants. That means basically two types of nutritions we are going to discuss, autotrophic nutrition in plants and heterotrophic nutrition in plants. And then lastly we are going to discuss that how are the nutrients repellent in soil. Okay, so these are the four topics that we will discuss throughout the chapter. Okay, so let us discuss one by one. Okay, just have a look. So our first portion is that nutrition and its types. Okay, so first of all let us discuss what is nutrition, then we will go for the types. Okay, so basically the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body is called nutrition. Okay, so in simple words we can say that the process of taking food by an organism and its utilization is called nutrition. Okay, so first of all the food we have to take, and if we utilize the food then we call the process as nutrition. So basically all living organisms need food for growth and development. Okay, this thing is very common that all the organisms, living organisms need food for growth and development, and the nutrients present in them, in the food, help them. Okay, so basically the nutrients, so these are the, you can say that work of nutrients, or you can say that how nutrients helps. Okay, so these are the points. What nutrients basically do, they basically build and grow their bodies. Okay, the nutrients basically if they present in our body, if they present in the food, then they build and grow their bodies. Okay, they repair the damaged parts and fight against diseases, very important, and they provide energy. Okay, so these are the three basic terms that if a nutrient is present in our food that we are taking, so basically we will get these kind of things. Actually it will help to build and grow our bodies, it will repair the damages and parts, fight against diseases, and it will provide energy. Okay, now we have also learned that the components of the food that are essential for our bodies are carbohydrate, proteins, fat, vitamins and minerals. Okay, so these are the very important you can say components that are very essential for our body. Okay, I am repeating that carbohydrate, protein, fats, vitamins and minerals. So basically these are called our nutrients. Okay, so basically all these things, carbohydrate, protein, fat, vitamins, minerals, all these are called as nutrients. Okay, the living organism shows two types of nutrients. We have already discussed, first is autotrophic nutrition, second is heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so I hope students this part is clear. This is the very introduction part, very basic part of the chapter. Now we are going to enter the main course of the chapter. Okay, so let me rub all these things first. Okay, so we will start with autotrophic nutrition. Okay, so first we are going to start with autotrophic nutrition. So autotrophic nutrition means what? So basically the mode of nutrition in which living organisms make food for themselves, okay, from simple substance is called autotrophic nutrition. Okay, so autotrophic nutrition means what? If we break the words into two parts, auto and trophs, so basically auto means self and trophs means nourishment. Okay, so we call it as self nourishment. Okay, so autotrophic nutrition means when some living organisms can prepare their food by themselves. Okay, then we call it as autotrophic nutrition. So examples are green plants, are able to prepare their own food by using simple substances such as, you can say, carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. Okay, all of us have known that trees can prepare their own food by using these raw materials. Okay. Okay, therefore the plant shows autotrophic mode of nutrition. Very important. Okay, so the example of autotrophic nutritions are the plants. Okay, now if we go for the heterotrophic nutrition, so heterotrophic nutrition means what? Exactly the opposite of this, that human beings and animals, okay, human beings and animals can't prepare their own food, and hence they depend on food for others or by the plants. Okay, so this mode of nutrition is called as heterotrophic nutrition, such as animals and non-green plants. Okay, we will discuss in the chapter why we call non-green plants as heterotrophic nutrition, or why non-green plants can't prepare their food. Okay, so we will discuss this question later. Okay, so if we break the word same, hetero means other, okay, and similar trophs means nourishment. So if we can't prepare our food and if we have to depend on others for our food, then that kind of nutrition we call it as heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so very basics part these are. I hope it is clear to you. You can say that these are the definitions of autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Okay, so let us move to the next part, that autotrophic nutrition in plants. Okay, so basically our chapter is related to nutrition in plants, so basically we are talking 90% of the cases related to plants. Okay, so let us discuss that autotrophic nutrition in plants. Okay, we know that green plants prepare their own food. Now we will find out the answer of the following question, that in which part of the plant synthesis the food take place. Okay, how do plants obtain the essential nutrients? Okay, and how do they transport them to the place where food is synthesized? Okay, so these three questions basically we are going to find out the answers. Okay, now let us discuss the very important topic, that food factories of a plant. Okay, which portion of a plant we call as food factory? So basically leaves are called the food factories of plants because preparation of food occurs in the leaves. Okay, and the cells of green leaves and young stems of plants contains a number of green structures called chloroplast. Okay, so what is chloroplast? So basically the cells of green leaves, okay, and young stems of plants contains a number of green structures. So that green structures we call it as chloroplast. So they are green in color due to the presence of green pigment called chlorophyll. Okay, so due to this chlorophyll they are green in color. Okay, and if the chlorophyll is present, only in that case they can prepare their food. Okay, so I think all of you can find out the answer, that why non-green plants can't prepare their food, because chlorophyll is not there. Okay, so very simple points are there. You can easily remember these points by reading the chapter properly. Okay, now let us discuss the next part, that raw materials for making food. What are the raw materials that a plant can use for making food? So for the preparation of food, plants need carbon dioxide, water and sunlight. So we can easily say that these are the raw materials. Now water and minerals are absorbed by the plants through their roots. Okay, now all of you are very familiar to root system and shoot system, because in class 6 you have already read it. Okay, now we have known that the water and minerals are absorbed by the plants through their roots, and the water is then transported to the leaves through the xylem tissues that are, you can say, pipe like structures. Okay, so we will study about xylem in the next higher classes. In class 8 you will read about xylem, but for now just remember this thing, that xylem is a structure. Xylem is there in the stem part. Okay, and it is a xylem tissue is a pipe like structure. Okay, you can imagine with a straw. Okay, by using a straw we can take the water or any kind of cold drink, okay, we can easily drink. So xylem is also that you can say this pipe like structure, okay. Okay, now nextly just have a look that carbon dioxide from the air is taken through tiny pores called stomata, okay. Stomata are very tiny pores which are present in the leaves. You can see here the picture. So if we magnify the picture, okay, by using a microscope, by using magnifying glass, so you can see that stomata openings are there. These pores are there, you can see, okay. So basically these pores are present, plenty of numbers, numbers of these pores are present in a leaf, okay, and by using these leaves we call it as stomata. They take the carbon dioxide from the air. The stomata are present on the underside of the leaves, okay, on the underside, that means below the leaves, okay. These are surrounded by guard cells. Now what are the guard cells? You can see here guard cells are there. So these are surroundings. If this is the stomata, so basically these are surrounding by the guard cells. So this should be your guard cells, okay. Now the guard cells control the opening and closing of the stomata. So what are the work of guard cells? So basically the guard cells are there to control the opening and closing of stomata, okay. Now sunlight is captured by chlorophyll present in the leaves, okay. We have already discussed that without the presence of chlorophyll a plant can't prepare their food, okay. So chlorophyll is very much important. Now using the sunlight, green plants synthesize the food from carbon dioxide and water, okay, by, you can say, a process called photosynthesis, okay. So by the presence of these things a plant can't prepare their food by the process of photosynthesis. Now this term is very much important, okay, photosynthesis. If we break the term, you will get two portions, or if we break the term into two parts, photo and synthesis. So photo means light. Many of you have already known that photo means light, okay, and synthesis means to combine, okay. So we can say in this way that in the presence of light, if we combine something, so that process we can call it as photosynthesis, okay. Now in this process of photosynthesis a chemical reaction takes place, okay, in which carbon dioxide, okay, these are the raw materials, carbon dioxide and water are converted into food in the form of glucose and oxygen, and it is released, okay. So as this is the chemical you can say reaction, so this is, you can say, the chemical formula, okay, this is the chemical formula, you can say, okay. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll, it will create glucose and oxygen. Now you can see here an arrow sign is there beside oxygen, so it shows that the oxygen is a gas, okay. So basically this arrow sign, I hope you can see the arrow sign. So this arrow sign represents that oxygen is a gas, okay. So this is the, you can say, the chemical formula of photosynthesis, very much important, okay. So we can say that the sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll are the essential raw materials for the process of photosynthesis. Very much important that sunlight, carbon dioxide, water and chlorophyll, these are the essential raw materials of the process of photosynthesis. So I hope students it is clear to you, okay. So let me rub all these things. What you have to do, students, you have to read the chapter again and again so that you will get a clear concept of the chapter, okay. Now just have a look that transportation of food in plants. We have already discussed it, that the food synthesized by the green leaves is transported to the other parts of the plant by a pipe-like tissue present in the stem. We have already discussed it. Some of this food is used by plants for their own growth and development, okay, and remaining food is converted into starch and stored in leaves, stem, root, etc. for future use, okay. So this is one part. Okay, so I hope it is clear up to this. Okay, so need of photosynthesis, students, we will discuss in our next video lecture. Okay, so students, read up to this. Okay, and I hope when you will read, the concepts will definitely clear from your side. Okay, so that's all for this video lecture, students. Thank you all.